You know, being a pastor's wife sometimes is a difficult place to live, and it has great joys, and we'll talk about those joys as we end our conversation. But it also has some difficult times where people can be difficult to deal with. Today we're at the Southern Baptist Convention filming our interview. We watched a little video, and one of the challenges of ministry that was quoted was the people are the challenges. And we've got a quote in our home that we say, if it weren't for the people, this would be the greatest job on the planet.
Right.
But it is for the people that we're doing what we're doing, and we're doing it as unto the Lord because He's called us to do that. Has there ever been a time in your life where, and maybe multiple times, that you've struggled with forgiveness and unforgiveness or handling criticism, or just talk about what you do in your life and what that journey is like for you, what that looks like?
Well, I wish I could say that when someone hurts me, or more often when they hurt my husband, is the more difficult challenge for
Absolutely.
me. Most people don't attack me, but my husband gets attacked a lot. And I would love to say and be so totally super spiritual to say, I immediately forgive and everything is fine. But, honestly and truthfully, that is an area for me that is a challenge. Now, I've been a Christian long enough to know that living with unforgiveness doesn't get you anywhere, and it doesn't punish the other people that hurt you. It punishes you. It
Absolutely.
puts you in bondage, and that's
Absolutely.
probably where the enemy wants to keep us. And because of my history with Christ, because I've walked with Him long enough, not that I have it all together, and not that I am the greatest forgiver. My husband is a great forgiver. He always says you never leave anyone outside your circle of love. And I've seen him through the years, people who've been vicious, extremely vicious to him, and he immediately forgave and opened his arms to them. And so I've had that example, and my husband set before me. And I get there, but I'll just be honest with you, sometimes it's a process. It's a process of me just grinding it out with the Lord.
Right.
It's me kicking my feet in the dust and just, stomping my fist sometimes and saying this isn't right, it was all wrong, and, all that. But once I get my spiritual bearings back on and I come before the Lord, I always have to come back to the same place, and that is to forgive as He forgives me.
Absolutely.
And so when I come back to what I know to be right and true, that's usually when it happens.
Well, and that's what the Word tells us, isn't it, in Matthew 6, about if we're willing to forgive those who trespass against us, then the Father is willing to forgive us of our sins. But if we're not, then He will not. And that's really where the bondage comes in. And that's such a good word for us as pastors' wives, because when they attack our husbands, they can say all they want about us, but we know the sacrifices that they make behind the scenes. And it's very difficult to ignore that criticism when we're trying to support them in that, so to hold on to that unforgiveness. But I'm grateful that you shared that journey with us, and hopefully that's an encouragement for others to press on in unforgiveness. And that sometimes it doesn't, I think I heard you say that it's a process for you. I think men are not, they can separate their emotions a little bit easier than we can. And for us, it is an emotional process. We can say the words and we can act out of faith in those words, but the emotions have to catch up. And so I'm so grateful that you would even write about that in this book. So